protest. No, I must place the unions in proper pathway for this
Hello and welcome to the program. Now, one arm of government that Nigerians are really concerned about is the National Assembly, especially the Senate. The upper legislative arm has been involved in diverse issues ranging from face-off with the presidency, corruption allegations, and infighting in the Senate, among others. In fact, the phrase, the Nigerian Senate and crisis, when searched in Google, will produce a staggering 658,000 results in just 0.42 seconds, while the phrase, the Nigerian Senate and corruption, produces 514,000 results in 0.42 seconds also. Now, this shows how much issues the Senate is entangled with, which, of course, has greatly affected their constitutional functions. The Nigerian Senate was also the trending issue on Twitter for about 3 days as Nigerians from all walks of life discussed developments in the Red Chamber, which has practically grounded legislative activities. That's in the Red Chamber, the upper legislative house. Now, starting with a gale of rejections of presidential nominees, well, maybe not nominees, but this time we're talking about the rejection of Ibrahim Magu as the acting chairman and the acting chairman now of the EFCC, and the subsequent refusal to confirm INEC recs in protest against EFCC acting chairman Ibrahim Magu. Now, the Senate has stepped up its assault against the presidency. The irony of it all is that the Senate is actually dominated by members of the ruling APC. Notwithstanding the onslaught against the presidency, issues of corruption once again rocked the upper chambers with allegations against the Senate president and his trusted ally Dino Melaye. Bukola Saraki was alleged to have imported a $298,000 SUV car with fake documents, while Dino Melaye was accused of certificate forgery. Actually, those accusations were made in the media. The Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges eventually cleared both men within 2 days of its investigations. The committee, however, recommended the suspension of Senator Ali Ndume, who had actually drawn the attention of the Senate to the media report against both the Senate President and Senator Melaye, and requested that the allegations be investigated. In other words, for daring to draw the attention of the Senate to the accusation in the media against both the senators, that's Bukola Saraki and Dino Melaye, the Senate Ethics Committee recommended the suspension of Senator Ali Ndume. And of course, during plenary, the entire Senate accepted the recommendation of its Ethics Committee and suspended Senator Ndume for 6 months. I'm quite sure we have not seen the end of this matter. Anyway, the senators also summoned prominent law professor and senior advocate of Nigeria, Professor Itse Sagay, to appear before their Committee on Ethics for daring to criticize them. Professor Sagay had actually criticized the Senate, saying quite a number of senators have questionable characters, and described some of the actions of the Senate as childish and irresponsible. Of course, the law expert has made it categorically clear that he would not honor the Senate's summons, stressing that the senators do not have the power in law to invite him. We just wait and see how all of this needless drama in the Senate pans out. But then there are groups that have been actually calling for the scrapping of the Senate. And one of that group, of course, is the Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership. That's CACOL. Now, not only is the body advocating the scrapping of the Senate, the body also says the Senate has not conducted itself well at all, especially on the issue of the summoning of Professor Itse Sagay and, of course, the suspension of Ali Ndume. Let's take a listen now to the chairman or the head of that group, the executive director of that group now, Debo Adeniro, what he has to say about what is actually going on in the Senate.
Against the foregoing, it is becoming very clear that Nigerians will have to take option of scrapping the Senate before it scraps the country itself. Several other countries have come to similar crossroads we seem to be at present. In 2012, Senegalese parliamentarians voted to abolish the Senate, saying the body had never really played its role. Other countries with bicameral parliament had done the same in history. Such countries include Australia, Canada, and at some provincial levels, state of Nebraska in the US, Portugal, Sweden, India, etc. Majority of these countries adduce cost cutting in government expenditure for their decision on representation, misrepresentation, and corruption as part of their excuses for taking such decisions. Another option will be for the various constituencies to commence the processes of recalling their respective representatives that are apparently profoundly corrupt from the Senate forthwith. This is because they are conspiratorially holding down the progress of the country. If they have their thinking faculties where they are supposed to be, we don't expect them to take that inanity. Somebody said on the floor of the Senate, and all of us who are watching, that he read from the papers that his own chambers have been disreputed somehow by certain statements. That there are statements that have been made that if it is not cleared by those that are involved, we bring it to disrepute in the pool of which it has already been wallowing, maybe further deep into that disrepute. And these people are not in a hurry to get out of that pool of disrepute. You know what they did? They constituted a court immediately. Do you remember that there are so many issues of national importance that they have not attended to? Do you know that they have not attended to the budget? They do not have time for so many things, but they had time to discuss that. They wanted to remain in that mud, and that is where they remain. They constituted a court. What do you expect from the court of the accuser bringing the accused to justice? They will go out of their way to invent laws under which, even if there is no law that is existing, they will invent laws under which they will convict their target victim. And that is what they have done. It is unconstitutional, they don't care about constitution. It is unpatriotic, they don't care about patriotism. It is inhuman, they don't care about humanity. They only care about themselves. And that is the reason why they behave as if they have several lives all over, bigger than us. It's about time to scrap the Nigerian Senate.
Well, we had Debo Adeniro there actually castigating the Senate for suspending Senator Ali Ndume, just because Senator Ali Ndume actually raised the issue of the allegations now in the media against the Senate President and Dino Melaye. Let's not forget that the allegation against Senator Dino Melaye was actually made by a couple of newspapers, and of course Punch newspaper inclusive, and of course Sahara Reporters. So quite a surprise that Senator Ali Ndume would now be actually suspended for basically asking the Senate, to address the issue so as to clear its name. But let's take a listen now to a clergyman who has actually been weighing in on all of those developments in the Senate. Let's take a listen to Pastor Kasali, what he has to say about it.
I dare members of the National Assembly, tell them one pastor in the backyard of Sulere dares them to go and take a poll, national poll. Let's take a national poll. Where of the three arms of government, where do you have your faith that the Nigerian capital? Nobody will vote for the National Assembly. Nobody has any faith in them. We don't like them. How do they know we don't like them? Nobody likes them. Nobody believes in them. People speak ill about them, and they don't care. They can't show that. I don't know why they don't care. You know when somebody don't care about? I don't understand it. I mean, sometimes it pains me, and I tell somebody, why can't we just do a 1 million man match? Let's just go to that place, reduce your salary, and let us see if they will say no. And if they say no, they did not represent the people. It's time for Nigerians to talk. These people are acting with what I call legislative recklessness. and rascality. Like nothing can happen. We go to that hallowed chamber, we say anything we want to say, and then nobody can do anything to us, and there's no immunity there, by the way. So I'm very pained that they are hindering the work. Now, whatever they have against Magu can be solved in a different way. You can't tell me you will shut down a whole National Assembly, running a whole nation because of one man. Then there must be something else that we don't know about that man. Is the man harassing their lives that much? Why must Magu be a threat to 300 and something? Why? To all national? Why? There must be something else Nigerians don't know. There must be. That man shouldn't be a threat to you. Why are you not making it look like until this man goes, we won't work? Why? What has he done? I don't get. I don't know Magu. I've not met him before. But the things we have heard about the guy, he's doing his job. He's trying to sanitize this country. The major problem we have in this country is corruption. Corruption. Don't let's make it look like it's corruption. It's corruption. Like they told them in church that day. I had somebody say it, and I believed it since, that there are 3 religions in Nigeria: Christianity, Islam, and corruption. We have 51% Christians, 49% Muslims, 98% corruption. I mean, I don't know. We all, I mean, that's the 3rd most powerful religion. And we're acting as if we don't know. What has Magu done? And if you don't confirm the guy, there must be a real reason. You must not say because you won't confirm him, you cannot right a wrong by committing another wrong. You cannot enable the law by breaking the law. It doesn't work. So what you are doing also is breaking the law. You cannot say, no, we will not do our job until this person is removed. There must be a better way. I'm sure there must be a constitutional way to get that guy removed. They should find a way of getting removed if they think he shouldn't be there. Speak to Mr. President clearly. Mr. President has sent the same name to you twice, and you've turned him down twice. And based on some fictitious reports from DSS, and I do not exercise, I don't want to know if guys stole money, if it's corrupt or not. The issue is, and for crying out loud, if Mr. President has to move the country forward, remove Magu, if that will make them work. But I don't want some people to do arm twisting, blackmailing style to make the executive coward or bend down. And I think people, Nigerians have a lot of faith in President Buhari and Osinbajo. A lot of it. By the way, that man is a senior advocate of Nigeria. That man is a brilliant lawyer. That man is a constitutional lawyer before he became vice president. So he would know if that person is not fit to be a EFCC chairman. He would know better. He would know better. It's something we can sit around the table and discuss. Not go to the plenary sessions and go to the hollow chamber and begin to make so much noise. Making noise does not make you better. I mean, sometimes people, I wrote an article and I'm going to publish it very soon. I call it the highs have it. The highs have it. All the favors say, hi, the highs have it. I said, the highs can have something wrong. The highs can be wrong. Many times the highs have been wrong. The highs said, yes, crucify Jesus, and they were wrong. The eyes told them, don't go to land of Canaan, and they were wrong. So the fact that the eyes have it does not make it right. And it's time for people to tell the eyes in the National Assembly that always have it, that they are always wrong. And unfortunately, Nigeria has a bunch of National Assembly that many eyes have it, but those eyes are always wrong. And what the eyes have is always money and corruption. And it's time for us to say that. And that's what the eyes will, if there's no money, the eyes won't have it. If there's money, the eyes will have it. It's time for the eyes to stop having it and let the people have it.
I feel very strongly about what is going on in the Senate, and to be candid, to some extent, it's quite embarrassing. But we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on DEJI360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.